Captain Jack Reed slouched in his command chair aboard the Pathfinder Asterisk, Earth's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. 3 years into their mission to chart the uncharted, and the crew had discovered plenty of new stellar phenomena, but nothing truly groundbreaking. Nothing to justify the enormous expense and political capital invested in the mission. "Captain, we're approaching the anomaly," First Officer Lisa Miller reported, her voice betraying a rare hint of excitement. The anomaly, as they had been calling it for the past week, was a peculiar region of space where their long-range sensors had detected unusual energy readings. Nothing dangerous, just odd. "Full stop at safe distance," Jack ordered. "Let's run a complete sensor sweep." The bridge fell silent as the Pathfinder Asterisk positioned itself at the edge of the anomaly, a seemingly empty pocket of space that looked no different than any other patch of cosmic darkness speckled with distant stars. Science Officer Tom Park hunched over his station, brow furrowed in concentration. "Captain, I'm getting impossible readings. According to our instruments, particles in this region are absorbing radiation instead of emitting it. Entropy appears to be decreasing." "That's not possible," Jack said, rising from his chair. "I know, sir, but the data is consistent across all sensor arrays." Jack turned to their AI specialist. "David, what does the ship's computer make of this?" Lieutenant David Wilson shook his head. "The computer is struggling to process the data, sir. It keeps flagging logical contradictions." "Send a probe," Jack ordered. Full suite of temporal sensors. Minutes later, the probe vanished into the darkness of the anomaly. The bridge crew watched as telemetry began streaming back. "Sir," Tom whispered, his face pale, "the probe's internal clock is running backwards." "What?" "Time is flowing in reverse inside the anomaly. But not just that. The effect gets stronger the deeper you go. For 3 days, the Pathfinder Asterisk remained stationed at the edge of what they now called the temporal inversion field. Probes were sent, data was collected, and theories were formed and discarded. Earth Command was notified, but at this distance, their response wouldn't arrive for months. On the 4th day, Jack called a meeting of the senior staff. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," he said, looking around the table. "Tom, what's your best theory?" Tom activated a holographic display. "We believe we've discovered a pocket of space where the arrow of time naturally points in the opposite direction to our own universe. Everything we know about physics says this shouldn't be possible, but the evidence is undeniable." "Could it be artificial?" Jack asked. "Created by some advanced civilization?" "Unlikely," Tom replied. "The field extends for at least 10 light years in every direction. The energy required to create something like this would be beyond comprehension." "So what do we do with this discovery?" asked Lisa. Jack tapped his fingers on the table. "We go in." The room erupted in protests. "Captain," Communications Officer Maria Jones said when the noise died down, "what happens to living beings in reverse time? Would we even survive?" Jack looked to Tom, who shrugged helplessly. "Unknown. But our probes function normally, just backwards." "We'll take the shuttle," Jack decided. "Small crew, volunteer only. We'll maintain a tether to the ship and pull back at the first sign of trouble." Despite the risks, the entire senior staff volunteered. Jack selected himself, Tom, Lisa, and ship's Dr. Alex Brown for the mission. The shuttle Explorer detached from the Pathfinder the next day, slowly advancing toward the invisible boundary of the temporal inversion field. Approaching threshold, Lisa announced from the pilot's seat. 3, 2, 1. The shuttle passed through, and nothing seemed to change, but the instruments told a different story. "We're in," Tom confirmed, studying his console. "Time is flowing backward relative to the ship." "How do you feel?" Jack asked the others. "Normal," Alex reported after checking his medical scanner. "Physiologically, we're unaffected. Our internal processes are still moving forward in time from our perspective." Jack nodded. "Take us deeper." As they progressed further into the field, they began to notice subtle effects. Light behaved strangely, seeming to flow into stars rather than emanating from them. Cosmic dust coalesced rather than dispersed. "This is incredible," Tom murmured. "From our perspective, we're watching the universe run in reverse." Then, without warning, the shuttle's sensors detected something massive approaching. "Unknown object," Lisa reported. It's huge." Through the viewport, they watched as a structure materialized, if materialized was the right word. It seemed to be assembling itself from scattered debris, growing more complex by the second. "Is that a space station?" Alex asked, voice hushed with awe. "I think," Tom said slowly, "we're watching it undestroy itself." The implications hit them all at once. In this backwards pocket of time, they were witnessing events that, from the normal universe's perspective, had already happened. There was a civilization here, Jack realized, advanced enough to build structures of this scale, but something destroyed them, something that, in our time frame, happened long ago. As they watched, smaller vessels began to appear around the reconstructing station, ships returning to dock, crews unaware that from the explorer's perspective, they were moving backward through time. "We need to leave," Jack decided. "Now, before we interact with them and create who knows what kind of temporal paradox." They retreated to the Pathfinder *, their minds reeling with the discovery. In the following weeks, they mapped the boundaries of the temporal inversion field from a safe distance, documenting everything they could without venturing back inside. When they finally returned to Earth months later, the scientific community was in an uproar. The discovery fundamentally changed humanity's understanding of physics, time, and the universe itself. But for Captain Jack Reed and his crew, the most profound realization was simpler. Somewhere in the depths of space, civilizations had risen and fallen, leaving behind only the faintest trace, a pocket of reverse time where their final moments played eternally backward, a cosmic memorial that only human curiosity had managed to find and comprehend. Humanity had solved the galaxy's greatest mystery, proving once again that their insatiable drive to explore and understand would carry them to heights no other species had reached.